This is why you marry a pilot.
Some kind of chocolate pastry baked this morning in Rome.
And someone was just like, why are you making them share a room? You will hear Mary down the road being like, oh, my daughter, she's off working in Australia. I'm so proud of her. And then in the same sentence, she'll be like, they took our jobs. It's just so hypocritical. This is tea. This is not wine. Could have been wine. That's where March began for me. After 6 years of sobriety, can you believe it's been that long? 6 years. I really, really wanted a drink. It's curious.
Very curious.
That when life is going really well, all of a sudden some rogue part of my brain is like, wait! This is all suspiciously serene. Better light a little emotional fire just in case. A preemptive strike maybe, like burn it down before the universe gets a chance. It's just a classic subconscious sabotage, innit? This happens to me over and over and over again in my life, and I'm left wondering, like, is that evolutionary? Is that hormonal? Is that me being a bit allergic to stability? Let's rewind. Let's unpack. This is March. Most of you know I quit alcohol in 2019. Drink was causing me a lot of problems. And I didn't say it in the February vlog, but for weeks leading up to my dad's retirement, I was quietly planning to have a glass of Prosecco on the day he retired. Not a return to old habits, you know, down in the guts of a whole bottle of whiskey, just one drink to mark something meaningful, a symbolic gesture, the kind of thing that felt justified, even deserved, a celebration, because Dad retiring, that wasn't just any day to me, to us as a family. My dad had a heart attack many years ago. Since then, every moment with my dad has felt a bit more fragile. Like, he is one of my best friends. He has a progressive lung disease, which has been slowly getting worse and making work borderline unbearable for him. It was really hard for him to be going in, and yeah, his retirement was something we were all looking forward to for so long. For decades, he worked, waking at 6 a.m. every day, and with grit and humour, he was moving towards this day. It was a monumental milestone in my eyes, so somewhere in my mind I labelled it big enough to break my sobriety for. While in London last month, I brought this up with my friend Lucy Moon. I knew she was the right person to talk to about it. She's spoken openly about her own relationship with alcohol, and like me, yeah, she stopped drinking. I felt safe saying it out loud to her that I was thinking of having a glass of Prosecco just this once, and she gently pressed me on why, what was really behind the urge. It stopped me because I knew I was searching for an excuse. I was dressing up a craving as celebration. I was imagining the warmth rising in my chest after that first sip, that subtle shift you get when you have a drink, the loosening, the lightness, the glow that comes before the blur. I missed that. I miss it. But when the day finally came and my dad was standing in front of us with his working life behind him, I didn't reach for the glass. In that moment, I didn't want to escape it. I wanted to remember it, be fully in the room with him, with his friends, our family, with this life I've built through these past 6 years. And maybe one drink wouldn't have undone that, but it would have taken me a step away from everything I've fought so hard for. Like, some occasions feel big enough to drink to, but sometimes being fully awake for them is the greatest celebration of all. Lately, there's this trend online that's really stuck with me, where you imagine yourself in your 80s or 90s waking up suddenly in the body and life you have now. the softness of your children's cheeks, your parents still alive, your partner's laugh still youthful. I think about it a lot, and because the truth is I am living my dream life right now, and I'm so aware of how quickly time passes, how none of this is promised. I'm working hard at living in my 3-foot world, you know, like what's actually in front of me instead of in the past or in the future. And one day when I am that old woman, I know I won't be looking back wishing I'd had the fucking Prosecco.
You and me could write a bad romance. Kissing my ass and it's a disaster. Such a catastrophe. You can see so damn much of my ass you asked for me. While I'm back. The center of attention. Back for the winner. I'm interesting. The best thing since wrestling.
In the mood for a bit of stewed apple porridge. So I'm making some stewed apple. I just chopped up an organic apple. I have butter. I have cinnamon. I have raisins. Pink salt. This is cold milled flaxseed with almonds and Brazil nuts and walnuts. So tiny bit of that, and I need to find the honey, but this is really easy to do. I'm chopping the apple up kind of small, but I have a little bit of the skin just for a bit of extra fibre. I've not added the flaxseed or the honey, just the butter, apples, cinnamon, salt, raisins, and a splash of water that has a little bit of lemon squeezed in. I tend to drink this in the morning anyway with a little bit of salt in it. Nice start for the digestion. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave this on medium heat for like 15 minutes. I'm actually all out of honey, so I've used just a bit of sugar, and I drizzled the sugar in over the apples. I've also cooked the porridge, and I put the flaxseed mix into the porridge instead, and I've got a spoon of almond butter waiting patiently ready for me to gobble it. Stewed apples are stewed, and I also added a big dollop of Greek yogurt because I just feel weird when I don't have yogurt in the mornings. She's become a staple. I'm sticking it on the coffee machine. I'm just making a cup of tea, but I have a bone to pick with Pinterest because all of the kitchens that I can find on it that I really like are AI. They're not real kitchens. If you look closely at the floors, like tiles or wooden floorboards or anything in basically any kitchen picture, I'll show you some examples on screen here. They're just like, you can see where it's wonky, or there'll be like a random rug outside the door in the back garden in the snow. Like the whole interior space online has just become dominated by fake pictures, and it drives me insane because I'm trying to look for just nice, inspiring pictures of kitchens because we're trying to come up with like a design that we would like for in here. We've found some brilliant carpenters and we're in savings mode, and the internet is full of fake news. Comes at home.
Hello,
You look
it's me.
That is a dapper haircut, I have to say.
Too short.
It's not too short, I love it. Our son is in preschool and our daughter is asleep and Thomas is off. So this is a very rare moment where we're both alone.
In silence.
In silence. I have been quite absent online. Thomas has been very busy in work, doing captain's training.
I'm trying my best.
Exams, one step closer. It's very intense. I had no idea. I was like, oh, I don't know, in my brain you just get to a certain point and then they're like, okay, you can be a captain now. No idea of your job.
I've a long way to go still. It's a long road.
It is. When Thomas has training or exams on, when he's off work, he obviously still is working. So then I have the kids a lot more. So I've just been...
You're giving me time for my studies.
Yeah. And there's been loads of times where you had to give me way extra time to work, like when I was writing books and stuff like that. So it's a bit of give and take.
A give and take, a to and fro.
Team. Go team.
A team.
This morning I had a little cry because I thought that my son would love to do a drama, singing, dancing kind of class. And I was trying to find the best one. And I contacted them and I arranged for him to go to this afternoon. And I brought it up to him and I was like saying it in a really excited way and stuff like that. And he just looked so upset and terrified at the thought of going to a class with people he doesn't know. And he was just adamant that he's not going. His eyes welled up and it was a kind of crying that I've never seen him do. No, the only time I've seen him crying is like, you know, if he bangs his leg and he's like sobbing because he got an initial fright or a pain or something. But he was doing a really sad cry, like a I just have never seen that before. So like me and you were kind of like not always knowing what to do is such a part of parenting. And I think in the moment then just kind of leaning into what feels right. And I was like, what if we go and I'll go in with you and we'll have a look at it? And he was just like, no, I'm not going. I don't want to. And so it's in that, like, I don't want to push him into that, you know, even though I'd love him to do it. But
yeah, like I'd be of the mindset that like, I'd be like, oh no, he will enjoy it when he gets in there. So we'll just kind of ease him through this discomfort stage and he'll be fine. But at the same time, he's 4.
You know, when people talk about how some parents end up pushing their kids into things that they don't want to do. Like, I really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'm going to I don't want to even bring him for him to see it. It's so confusing to me because I thought I really knew what he would like. His teachers said he's like the leader of the class. And they said he's just a very outgoing personality. So, and he loves singing and he loves dancing. And I just thought it would be perfect. And now I'm just really doubting myself. Like, I was asking him, you know, if you could do a class in anything, what would you want to do? Would you like to do art classes or football? Like, we bring him to a football thing and he does like that.
Yeah, he likes the outdoorsy stuff.
The outdoorsy stuff, but he's become more shy, I've noticed recently, with strangers. He used to be the type of child that would just, you know, on his first day of preschool, he just walked in and he was like, right, see you, ma'am. But I've noticed it recently, like this past week, we've had a couple of like friend gatherings and stuff, and he was really shy with my friends and with your friends. So I don't know, is that a developmental thing? I'd love to ask anyone who has a child older than like 4.5, 5, so who's gone through the stage that we're in now. Is it normal that their personality just kind of takes a big shift?
Well, I was very reserved and quiet and shy when I was a child, so
you were still like that as an adult. When I first met Thomas, he barely said a word. Our 2-year-old is fully 2-year-olding. She has become sassy, but it's just so adorable. Like, she's that kind of child that like we find it really hard not to like laugh if she stomps her feet and she's like, I am not, like the way they get to that stage where they're defiant and stuff. But she's too cute that the two of us are just like, oh.
It's very hard to not laugh. And we have to really control ourselves, because if you laugh, then it becomes a big joke. And
exactly.
And she could be actually doing something she shouldn't be doing. But if you start laughing because she's like defying you in a really cute way, then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I can do this. He doesn't care. He's laughing. Even though when she's kind of being really argumentative and it's really cute and you just want to laugh, she's being serious. And as well, I don't want to be laughing at her when she's trying to, when she's like, no, I really want to do this thing, and I'm just laughing in her face. You know, I've literally drawn a line. I've just stopped myself from laughing all the time now, because it's just not helpful, but it is so funny.
I know.
It's just so funny.
So fun. I love this age so much. I have a bit of an update as well with the sleep situation. I don't think I had actually vlogged about that, but we had a 2-year sleep regression with our daughter, where she was just waking up multiple times a night after like a dream, or just wanting to talk about stuff or whatever, and it was starting to really wear me down. We are definitely out of that now. I have had excellent sleep scores on my Aura. I read the Aura ring. So we did the beds in their room. I showed you the beds last month. So they have their own room now. I should have got toddler beds. Our 2-year-old cannot sleep in a single bed unattended. Like, it's too big. I didn't know that. I'm an idiot. Beds are in there. We're still all co-sleeping in our room, and it's going great. We're all sleeping really well. But yeah, I think as soon as she's old enough, like we just don't want to put our son in there on his own, because he would stay in there and he'd probably wake up at like 3 or 4 and maybe come into us. But I'd get really sad leaving him in there on his own. I had a message after showing updates with the kids' room renovation, and someone was just like, why are you making them share a room? You know, it's a boy and a girl. They're like, why are you making them share a room? You've got other bedrooms. Like, one of them was turned into an office for me. One of them we turned into a guest bedroom / home family cinema, so we can all go in there and watch movies. But like, how would you answer that? Like, what? Because we never really had a sit down discussion of like, are we going to give them 2 separate bedrooms or not?
Like, we will eventually have 2 separate bedrooms. I know, but
I'm talking about now. I'm talking about like at this age.
Well, but their entire lives they've been sleeping. Everyone's in the family has been sleeping in the same room, so it's a bit of a shock for them all of a sudden to be, oh no, you're in this room and you're in that room and we're in this room. Like
for me, it was more just never a question, because I always shared a room when I was a kid, and people have always, like even our parents, like they would have had so many siblings, and I just think it's natural for like all animals and humans to want to sleep next to people. Like I like sleeping next to someone, and I just think it's a lot to expect a kid not to want that or need that. So I just never, in my head, it's like when one of them asks for their own room, they will get it. When they're at that age where they want their own space, they will have it. The person who sent me the message made it weird about it being a boy and a girl in together, and I just feel like at that age it's just not an issue. Like it's just not a non-issue.
Yeah.
If you're sharing a room with a brother or a sister.
And show me a 4 or 2-year-old who wants their own space. They don't want their own space. They're 4.
They just want to be here on you. Hi, Mummy. I have something saucy to open with you, but look, Thomas finally hung up the Highland Coo. His sister painted that for us, and it's really cute. It's sitting over here. It's an investment in my face, okay?
I don't understand what's happening.
I, for 3 years, have put off buying one of these. Every vlogger that I've ever followed has talked about these, gone on and on and on about them. Skincare doctors, just all the skin experty people. And I just thought, they're so expensive. Thomas and I went to the Salt Cave. I told you about the Salt Cave in last month's vlog. In there they have red light therapy area where you can sit. They have a sauna that's like a red light therapy sauna. So I ended up reading into the benefits of red light therapy. And what I'm talking about is, do you know those masks? Those like, people look mental and they put this mask on and it's red light and they just look like a serial killer.
It's like science in the lab.
Yeah.
Hello, Clarice.
Yeah. This one seems to be the best in the sense that it's FDA cleared. It is like, there's loads of research behind it, and it's a very reputable brand. So it is a bit expensive. So it's a LED light therapy device. It's the Omnilux Contour Face Mask. People who have undergone a course of 12 Omnilux Contour Face treatments report a visible improvement in skin tone and texture. Dermatologist approved, FDA cleared, 10-minute treatment, 40 plus peer-reviewed clinical studies, 20 years of continuous research. And the reason I'm getting this is because the reviews that I've seen from people, like unsponsored reviews, of how much it has rejuvenated their faces in terms of it helps with collagen production and just wrinkles, fine lines, but like also plumping and glow and all the stuff you want when you get to my age, and like you know, you start losing collagen and all that kind of thing. And I just want to really optimize what I'm doing for anti-aging so I can prevent myself from getting any invasive treatments and stuff like that. So I'm trying to focus on the things that have evidence behind them that help with anti-aging, but there's not many things. I will review this. I just wanted to unbox it with you because I'm very excited. I like the pattern on it, but you can use this as well. It has a panel like that, so when you turn it on, all those red lights come on. People say it's really relaxing, and a lot of people use it as a chance to either do breath work or meditate, and like this is like their excuse to like force them to do that. In the box there was also hydrogel face mask, firm, hydrate, nourish, specially designed to enhance Omnilux LED treatments with hyaluronic acid. Ew. I'm just at a stage in life where I just want to be doing everything I can. I've even caved and I'm trying
AG1 supplement that like every single podcaster like works with them, and I've just seen it a billion jillion times online, and I've always been quite put off by the price. But I was thinking about this, like because I love taking supplements. Thomas takes a lot of supplements as well. But if I added up the price of probiotics, magnesium, I take turmeric, vitamin C, alpha lipoic acid, collagen, B complex, multivitamin, vitamin D, my omega-3s. Yeah, the AG1, it's like, you know, comes in a tin and you take a scoop a day and you just mix it with water. I have some of the travel sachets in here as well, but yeah, like a month's worth of AG1 is probably less than a month's worth of what I already spend on supplements. It is whole food sourced and there's loads of goodness in there. I've only taken it 2 days so far. You probably could just get a bunch of stuff like spirulina and a good few things and mix them up and make your own version of it for cheaper. I'm not arsed.
What's going on in here?
I'm trying to do a guided meditation with my beautifying mask.
You look like your man from the Fantastic Four, Dr. Doom.
This is supposed to be relaxing.
That's your mom.
I could get used to that without the children joining. This is my favourite, very lazy, healthy dinner. It is organic sourdough from Olive Bakery in Skerries with some organic smoked salmon with butter on one piece and half of an avocado mashed with salt, pink Himalayan salt and a fried egg. Takes 5 minutes. And some crumbled organic feta cheese. Feta cheese just makes everything better. Who's that? Santi. Today I'm matching my car, which is filthy. Let's go get it washed. We're going to the health food shop to get some nice chocolate because the chocolate that I've been eating for a long time, Lindt, yeah, there's lawsuits going on to do with them just being like really high in heavy metals or something. I'll leave a screenshot here. But also, Thomas's cousin is after setting up a wee pop-up shop for pre-loved clothes. Fancy clothes, vintage, good brands. It's called Reloved, and I gave her some of my old stuff to sell at it. I wonder if they'll still be there. It opened yesterday, so I don't know if any good stuff will be left. Please. So bring us along. We are in Skerries. And this is where my dad lived for many years. This is where Thomas is from and all his family and most of our friends. That used to be Extravision. See the little flat? The little flat on top of it, my granny, before she died many years ago, she wanted to buy that. And I just was very excited at the thought of her living above a DVD shop. Didn't show them our new DVD storage. We finally have DVD storage in the cinema room. I'll show you later. Nature's Cures. They've got the lovely chocolate. Hello.
Get chocolate.
Yeah, will we pick some really tasty chocolate? Look at all of this. Some orange chocolate.
Yeah, we can pick that.
And some...
I want marshmallows.
You want marshmallows? Sweet orange. Got some of the good shit. Boojas. These are almond salted caramel. These are best when you keep them in the fridge. I've tried lots of different flavours of these. These are not my favourite. They didn't have my favourite, but Epic brand. They're not necessarily healthy, but they're definitely gonna be better quality cocoa. This is the pop-up shop. If you're from Skerries, basically Super Value's there, and it is right here. Where are you going? Ooh, look at that chair. Look at these boots. Oh.
Mommy's been looking for boots like them.
Mommy's always looking for boots like them. Nothing for you in here, just for me. all for me. Who's hiding in there? So the kids helped me pick a couple of beautiful pieces to try on. We have a Carrie Bradshaw. Carrie Bradshaw. The brand is Needle and Thread. Then this very goth little short dress and a very long grey coat, which I'm not sure be my thing, but will we do a little changearoo? Will I try these on?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of this one?
We're gonna buy that.
We're gonna buy that. I definitely think we're gonna buy this. It is so cute. It fits perfect like a glove. Even with these boots, I think it's pretty cool. And springtime. Do you think this is a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
So we both said this would be a thumbs down, mister, didn't we? Because it doesn't fit. But it is pretty cool. I love the pattern.
But you like this one better.
I like that one better. I actually just love the feeling of this, like just the thought of being able to throw that on when I'm rushing out the door. And it's just very warm, very heavy. It doesn't look like it'll catch fluff and everything. It's that kind of texture. So I think this is a yeah. I've made it home. I bought the coat. I just wanted to show you this little set that was given to Dad by his colleagues when he was retiring, and it is so cute for little morning coffees. Looking out at the garden. Thomas is taking it upon himself to clear out the shed, the kind of thing that I would never do.
This is when I was a toddler.
Oh, that's something you had when you were a toddler?
Yeah.
Here is a tour of our shed, which we had intended to be
Here's your coffee table
home gym.
that you wouldn't let me get rid of, and you didn't want in the house, and now it's destroyed.
Wardrobes from the kids' room, an old sink, so much stuff, like even
well, somewhere had to be the dumping ground when we were doing inside the house. So
I know.
There's always
a dumping ground. See how our trees are doing. These are all the trees that Thomas and our little lad planted, and they're budding. Look, they're not dead. It's very relaxing out here. So much to be done, but yeah, I know we're gonna need like a fence or something here, but I kind of love being able to look out at this field. Sometimes when I want to meditate, I just come out and take some deep breaths and look out at the view, and makes me feel very, very, very grateful. Oh, cutting the grass. There we go. Thank you.
I want to do it.
Of course you want to do it. I just thought I'd take out the vlog camera because this is how I spend a lot of time. It's just breastfeeding this little madam, and I wanted to document some of the magic. Breastfeeding toddlers is very fun.
I can take your hair out.
Okay, you get it. It's such a bonding experience.
Where is it?
Where is it? La la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. And it's salty. I don't know where your fingers have been. I've just been playing wands with the kids, but yeah, we're in the guest cinema bedroom, and I said I'd show you the DVD storage. Thomas gets ready for work in here, hence his uniforms, but we went for an open wardrobe. Now it's not finished. This is obviously where we project movies from our projector over here. We have some sanding to do and like paint touch-ups and whatnot, but this is bloody perfect. Now the carpenters, unreal. The company is Bespoke Bros. I will be tagging them soon in a reel on Instagram. So they did the wardrobe in the kids' room as well. And your man was raging at me because, see these shelves, the gaps. I obviously would have preferred to put the DVDs in like this. But you know, when we were making plans, look, I didn't tell them DVDs were going in here. Yeah, but like whatever. It's like our own little extra vision. And I do over here want to get like a kind of like a stand to put all of our favourite movies on display. and a popcorn machine. Need to find a popcorn machine. So we are listening to Christy Moore and we are making our favourite muffins. And what are our favourite muffins?
Banana muffin.
Banana muffins. And these guys are here to watch. What are their names?
Finny, sassy, and vanilla.
We need plain flour, bananas, eggs, sugar, flaxseed, cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. What's this one, Mr. Moo?
Milk.
Milk. We always get. Oh, I bashed you. Sorry, dinosaur.
Well, I was eating that.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. This is single source milk, so it's from one source. It's not from like a million cows all over the place mixed together. This is pink Himalayan salt, bread soda, baking powder. We'll be mixing things here. We've got a muffin tin, got our cup measurements. Please do not look in my ADHD doom drawers. I just shove everything into drawers. All the wet ingredients are gonna go in this big bowl. Where do eggs come from?
Chickens.
Chickens, yeah. That's where a baby chick comes out of, but some of them don't turn into chicks, and then we can eat them. Lovely golden yolks. That's why you want free range or corn-fed, organic. We do want our own chickens, don't we, mister? Get our own chickens, fresh eggs.
Yeah.
Olive oil is very, very healthy. We need 3/4 cup of milk, so the same amount of milk as oil. And it's much better to make things fresh all by yourself from home, because then you know what's in it. You can put things in that are good for your body.
Hey, my name's called Vanilla.
You do a little mix, that's how you do it.
I'm the peeler man.
Yeah, you're the peeler man, I'm the masher man. I'm not a man, I'm a...
Masher.
Now to add the dry ingredients.
Mommy,
Yeah.
I can hear my voice.
Now go. Ah. We are mixing all of the dry ingredients together. So we just about that much in each one. Oh, silly mommy. Put peanut butter in them, or cashew butter, or almond butter. The muffins come out looking like this. The two kids have already robbed one each. They pop out so easy and they're lovely and squishy, and you can cut them in half and put some nut butter in them. Great snack for a bit of fibre. I'm going to store them all now in a big massive lunch box. Going to see if Dad would like a little muffin. Love being next door neighbours. Would you like a fibre muffin?
Fibre muffin?
Yeah. He's smoking a pen. He's trying to quit vaping, so he has a pen. Kids, help me. I come bearing gifts.
I love a good muffin.
It's banana-rific.
Yeah, it's got Ready Brek in it. Flaxseed, olive oil.
You can taste the flaxseed.
If you want to experience real magic, you just need to go to the woods. I tell my kids it's not the loud spell casting sort of magic, but it's something older, quieter. It's real magic. It creeps in through the roots of trees, whispers in the wind. I tell them if you're paying attention, if you're really paying attention, you can feel it. When I walk in the forest, I usually go to Ardgillan Forest. It's beautiful. When I walk here with my family, something inside me shifts. The mental clutter settles. Like, you know, when the kids finally stop talking over each other for a second in the car and there's a sudden moment of quiet, you didn't realise how loud it was until it wasn't. It's like that being in the forest for me. The forest doesn't care about deadlines or algorithms, it simply is. And somehow being among these trees reminds me that I can just be too. I watch my kids marvel at every stone and stick, and they invent stories and they create entire worlds from moss and bark, and I think they're still so close to the source. Like they're so pure, they're so innocent. They haven't yet learned to overthink or doubt themselves. They're just so present. And as a parent, if you leave your phone at home, like just don't. Oh, I saw this thing recently. It was this woman and she decided to stop looking at her phone in the playground with her kids, and she realised how often her kids look at her while they play, and she was thinking about how many thousands of times her kids looked at her to see if she was watching something they were doing, like, look mommy, I'm doing this dangerous thing, and like, you know, not having that. That's a big deal for kids. I'm really strict about my phone use in front of the kids, and yeah, as a result, it rubs off on you as a parent. When you've no phone and it's just the kids, you are forced into presence. It is very hard to not be present when you're with small children and there's no technology, no distractions. Out here, I feel like my brain finally gets a chance to breathe. It's like stepping out of survival mode, out of your analytical mind. Your body listens, your body releases tension, your breath deepens, the way your heart is beating changes, your whole nervous system works differently. You start feeling connected again, not just to the world around you, but the one inside you. The next time life feels too loud, please remember, you're not your past, you're not your thoughts, you're the observer of your thoughts, you're the author, you are the alchemist, and all it takes is one walk in the woods.
A lot of you are American, live in America. Let it be known that Conor McGregor does not speak for me.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. There will be no place to come home and visit. You know, Ireland is at the cusp of, you know, potentially losing its Irishness.
The Irish are becoming a minority in their own country is a far-right talking point, not supported by data. Him implying that Irish identity and Irishness is being erased by illegal immigration is factually incorrect, deeply misleading, stokes fear and division instead of real conversation about housing and integration and social services and all of the conversation we should be having. The kids are watching The Little Mermaid and I am about to write a caption for my St. Patrick's Day Instagram post. When I'm writing an Instagram caption that's long, I usually have to sit alone in a quiet room. I'll read out to you whatever I come up with over some footage of St. Patrick's Day, which was yesterday. And I'd love to read your feelings down below. You're sitting on an old stool with like dust and paint flecks on it. Don't get me wrong, I don't want people to feel like they can't speak about their concerns about immigration. It's how we speak about it that matters. Like, you know, don't be quoting your weird uncle's Facebook posts. Allow yourself to be informed by facts. Facts like Ireland has one of the lowest murder rates in the world right now. Facts like in the past 10 years, only 13,000 odd of the people who were seeking asylum here were actually granted asylum. Anyway, okay, caption time. Caption time.
Today, across the world, millions don the green, raise glasses and revel in the spirit of Ireland, marching through the streets of New York, Sydney and beyond, proud descendants of those who once fled these shores, desperate to survive long enough to see their children grow. Yet here at home on this very St. Patrick's Day, some of your friends, your loved ones, would turn your backs on those now making the same journey to our doorstep, to celebrate a people who sought refuge across the world while sneering at those who seek it here. I truly cannot understand that. The Irish, we have known exile, hunger, the kindness of strangers, and if history has even the faintest whisper of wisdom to offer, it's this. We of all people should know better. But it's not the same, is it? I've read all the arguments in my DMs over the years when I've dared to get political. How quickly we rewrite history. Our ancestors were met with hostility, slurs, signs that read "No Irish need apply." They were called criminals, disease-ridden, unfit to belong. They were blamed for economic struggles that were not of their making. Please don't repackage these same tired fears for a new generation. No nation collapses under the weight of compassion. No society thrives on the back of fear. If Ireland is to be proud today, let it not be just for where we've been, but for who we choose to be now.
The father has retired. He is retired. This is a free man I'm sitting next to. 1 week retired now. My mother-in-law asked my son, like, how's Grandad finding being retired? And he told her, he was like, I don't know, I never see him, he's always in the pub. Which isn't true at all. That? Yeah.
Planning to get trip to Amsterdam for drugs and alcohol.
Today we're having a fun outing. We are bringing the kids to an invite. I got an invite to the zoo, but it's not just the zoo. You know I am a big movie fan, so there's a new Jurassic Trail. Basically, dinosaurs. One of the guys who created them was a science advisor to Steven Spielberg on the original Jurassic Park films, as well as to Universal and Disney theme parks. So I think this will be epic and the children will very much enjoy.
So then I was like, oh, I'll just park in this tiny space because I feel
there's some normal cars.
It looks like there's a bit of room there.
You look
anywhere.
You look like you're from Coronation Street. Thomas just joining us from work. He drove straight here in his Renault. This car is beloved by Instagram. I made a reel about it that went mad viral. You might recognise it. We have a lunchbox of snacks. We have bottles of water. We have nappy bag. This is why you marry a pilot.
Some kind of chocolate pastry baked this morning in Rome.
Thank you.
Happy Zoo Day.
That genuine Italian pastry.
Yeah, there was
I'll give you some. Hang on, here, you hold this for a second. Build up your vlogging arm. What's this?
Yeah, it's like a chocolate croissant. Okay.
See the monkey? He's over there on the island. Look. He's running, he's running, he's running. It's like an invite only thing, so a lot of the regular zoo parts aren't open. But look at this mammy and her baby. He's having boobies.
What?
The little monkey over there, he's having boobies.
Aww.
That's me trying to wean. I know the feeling, love. Look at how much they pull the nipple away from the body.
Look at baby. What is Triceratops?
I'm just trying to get a shot, chicken. You pull it.
I literally remember doing that when I was a kid. It's like, come on!
I'm bored. Where are they even gone?
You keep running off.
It's not real, baby.
Not real. Look, see, you can give him a little pet.
Do you want to touch him?
Want to pet him on the head?
No!
Probably not supposed to touch them.
He's just a big toy.
You let us watch the Jurassic Park movies way too young. Recently, he was asking when can my son, who is 4, like when can he watch Jurassic Park? And I looked it up online. It is definitely not suitable for a 4-year-old, but I definitely saw it at that age, and I had all the toys and I was absolutely obsessed. I had the original Jurassic Park toys. I'm so excited to show it to him, but he has been watching, there's a cartoon version and it has the original music, like the original John Williams score. I think she did a big fart.
No.
I smelled something rotten.
It was me.
Do you want to give him a Peppa Pig raisin? He might really like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Just throw the raisin at him.
It's
not. It's a toy.
It's not real, Chicky. Is she going asleep?
Yeah.
She's eating it. Sorry, mate. Rexy. That's a pretty cool name. That looks unbelievable.
Oh, wait.
What did he do to you?
I want to be this one.
Me and Daddy are fighting like the dinosaurs.
What if it's not?
Give me your hand.
What if the dinosaurs aren't in the shop? We just look mental. Yeah, he's look mental.
Look,
What's their names?
Shimmy and Sassy.
Shimmy and Sassy. I think this one is Sassy. Your hand's warmer now? Was that a good idea? Yeah, see? I'm like an animal too. I have her in my pouch. Her hands got cold and we forgot the gloves. It's sunny. You want to do boobies on the couch? When we get home we can do that. Is that alright? Will we follow Granddad? Yeah. This song combined with this image is just glorious. Okay, my son officially thinks this is Jurassic Park. He said, "Mammy, is this really Jurassic Park?" And I said, it's like Jurassic Park. Imagine having that many children. That's what I'd look like too. Two happy kids after going into the very expensive zoo toy shop. Oh, Pink Dinosaur, yeah. What's his name? This shark dragon Tingy.
Yeah.
For us, the little zoo espresso mug for morning coffees. Gorgeous. Race you home. Do 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 do. It's so small. Hello, so I am in the car. I have just dropped our little boy to jiu-jitsu. It's his second class, and earlier in the vlog you'll remember I was talking about how I had this vision of him being in a drama, singing, dancing kind of class, and he was just not into it at all. So over the month I was like just digging and trying to figure out what might spark some joy in him. Martial arts, showed him a load of martial arts videos, and that definitely sparked something. And so we found a jiu-jitsu class that miraculously had a spot, and the guy was like, look, if he's shit, he's not coming back. I don't have time for time wasters. Little lad did fantastically on his first day. So yeah, today we're getting him like the little, what's it called, the gi, the little outfit, and like a white belt. I'm so excited for him. But I'm just sitting in the car in my own garden because 2-year-old is inside and we're having a very clingy to mammy day, and I want to have a chat, an important chat about immigration and the response to my Instagram post, and not just that, but the broader discourse online right now in and around Irish immigration. To keep me company, I have my cup of tea in my ocean bottle cup, and I have some of the Dubai chocolate that Lidl is now doing. It's cheaper than the popular viral Dubai chocolate brand, and now I barely eat anything like this. I don't really buy UPF stuff. But all you fuckers on the internet, and now I'm one of said fuckers, have me craving this, and it's basically like a pistachio flavoured Kinder Bueno, if you're wondering if it's even up your street. Got that delicious pistachio middle, and this is my secret stash. Okay, before I dive in, I will say I think this is just as good as the super expensive Dubai chocolate bars. I've tried a few of them now. I like the ratio of chocolate to filling in the little ones. Watching this shit show unfold on the internet ever since Conor McGregor's speech, which I've already mentioned, but then Garen Noon, who is a very beloved, popular comedian, Irish Instagram, TikTok man, he weighed in. Huge backlash, everyone calling him a racist. Watching all of it, like all the articles, all of the back and forths in the comment sections, it gives me such a heavy feeling, not just because of the topics, immigration, fears, violence, identity, but because of how we're all handling the conversation. It is unbelievably important that people feel they can express their concerns. If we shut down every difficult or uncomfortable conversation and annihilate people because they don't articulate their point perfectly, all it does when you shut down the conversations is push people into echo chambers where the loudest voices thrive, the most extreme voices. People need to be able to say how they're feeling, what they're experiencing, without being labelled or attacked. Now, in the past few days, I would say labelled, but I have called certain people leaving me comments racist. I have pointed out why the things that they're saying, the phrasing that they're using is racist. But then other people were leaving comments that were genuinely coming from a place of deep concern for their communities. Yeah, I'm gonna go into immigration, the pros, the cons, the things that we need to let people talk about, the things you all need to be engaging in conversation with in real life. I just want to touch on cancel culture. How are we still here in 2025? Cancel culture, where someone starts trending, everyone piles on, there's a new person every day getting cancelled. It is so dehumanizing. I've been on the other end of that. And whether someone, me or anyone else, deserves criticism or not, there's a difference between accountability, like holding someone accountable, and public annihilation. We've gotten so used to watching people, ordinary people who have lives and families, who make mistakes, be turned into hashtags and punching bags. Unless you've been on the receiving end of that, you've no idea. It's so damaging. Garen Noon had to delete his accounts for a few days just to like pull his head together. It is terrifying. It feels like you're sitting in your sitting room and people are up against your windows, slamming on them, screaming horrible things at you, threatening you. That's what it feels like when thousands of people who barely know you are joining in when they see like, oh, everyone's talking about this person today. This is the latest person who has done something terribly wrong. Let's fucking stick our pitchforks in them. I even saw Keelan Moncrief. She's a fellow Irish vlogger, Instagrammer. She had an amazing post and it was gaining a lot of traction, and she had to delete that because of the just level of shit she was having, like logging in. You're logging in and it's just like everyone's going rah! The internet makes everything feel very black and white, but real life isn't black and white. We all know that. Shit's complicated, people are complicated, and I just hope we can all learn from this, that in this conversation and any conversation we can hold space for nuance. You're allowed to have empathy for immigrants while at the same time having concerns about how the level of immigration is impacting Irish people. Accountability without cruelty, please. We have to treat people like human beings, even if we disagree with them, even if we violently disagree with them. Many people still don't know how to have a friendly debate on the internet. The following reasons are why I am not anti-immigration. Reminder, I live in Balbriggan. This is an extremely diverse town. I have lived here for 3 years. I previously lived here for a few years with my dad and my brother. When I first started my YouTube channel, I lived in Balbriggan. Never, I mean, not once, have I had a negative experience here. I've never felt unsafe here. My son is in preschool here. He's in a class with children from all over the world. And has he experienced a little bit of issues with any of those foreign children? No. One of the Irish boys, however. First reason I am not anti-immigration is that immigrants have a net positive contribution, meaning they pay more in taxes than they take in benefits. Growth in our labour force. Immigration accounted for like half of the growth in our labour force in recent times. Immigration helps offset Ireland's ageing population, supporting public services like pensions, healthcare, the tax base. They have, shock horror, very high employment rates. They are twice as likely to start their own businesses as Irish people. Irish businesses bringing money into our economy. Probably the most important one, they contribute massively to key sectors. Think tech, healthcare. How many of your doctors and nurses have been immigrants who have saved your lives, your family's lives? I might hear you say, oh, but yeah, that's because all the Irish doctors leave the country because they're not paid well enough. That's true, but isn't it great that they get to move wherever and earn a living abroad? Like, you will hear Mary down the road being like, oh, my daughter, she's off working in Australia. I'm so proud of her. And then in the same sentence, she'll be like, they took our jobs. It's just so hip-fucking-critical. On the other hand, I recognise this isn't all sunshine and roses and there are concerns. Fact-based concerns are housing. More immigration does increase demand for housing, and that can contribute to higher demand, higher rents, especially in urban areas. I'm pretty sure that's why so many immigrants live in this town in Balbriggan, because there was so much affordable housing, just houses popping up all over the place. That can make it harder for Irish people to live in the town where they grew up. This is something we should be blaming the government for, the housing situation, not people, many of whom are literally the most vulnerable people in this country. Another valid concern is that, yes, there's more strain on public services like education, healthcare, transport. Again, the government are to blame, not the people who really need help. Sudden increases in immigration, especially without proper like communication from the government, this can increase polarization, it can increase fear, misinformation being spread, and that can lead to cultural tensions. There's definitely not been enough effort by the government to help people with integration as well. There's 100% issues with integration, but we just need better policies. We need conversation, we need compassion for people who have come here. Like who in their right mind would want to move to a country where they maybe don't speak the language, they have no roots, no ties, no family, no extended family, no childhood friends. Most of the people who a lot of yous are complaining about are not skipping here being like, you I'm just gonna go on the dole. Like, if you think that, if you believe that, you need to get your head out your arse and just learn about it. Just come at this subject with a bit of curiosity. Some of my family are married to immigrants. I know some amazing people who were not born here and now they have children, and their children are Irish children, and their children are looked at like are othered. That maddens me more than I need to stop talking about this. I'm gonna pop a vein. Let's go in and do film club. Let's do film club. I just called this film club, didn't I? I meant movie chats. Who's reading this? Who's read this? I've started it. Oh my god. Wow. That's for another time. So last month we obviously covered The Substance, and after such a full-on body horror fever dream of a movie that practically punches you in the face, I was craving a bit of a deep breath of a movie, a little, you know, lost in translation, baby. Shot on film. Oh, speaking of shot on film, guess who had some new headshots taken last night. Film headshots. I've never done a film photo shoot ever before. Best part was it was a follower of mine, so I put out a little box thing on Instagram stories, and this girl who's watched me for years, she works in film, and she invited me to do a photo shoot in Dublin city centre. I did hire her. I didn't just like say like take my photos for free. But yeah, and she was just so nice. She played movie soundtracks and had little naked bars laid out for me. We all know I love a good naked bar. It was a beautiful atmosphere. I felt so comfortable in front of her because she knows me, even though it's a parasocial relationship. Like she knew me. And we did 3 outfits. She used a camera from the 80s and a black and white film camera as well. And so the film, like the great thing with film is you can't like see them as you go. I'm pretty sure you can't edit them or anything. It's just you develop the film and then the shots you get are the shots you get. And I'm so excited. I needed new headshots. The last headshots I did were during the pandemic, and I had like a little fringe that was growing out, and they were like taken out in the forest when I was promoting my novel Glass Houses. I was going for Glass Houses vibes for, you know, the back of the book cover and everything. That was a bit of a, this is just my ADHD brain all over. But lost in translation, Sophia, who is the director, she really wanted a kind of dreamy, nostalgic aesthetic, so the movie would have that feeling of like a memory. This movie is quiet, it's minimal, it's the sort of film where nothing happens yet somehow everything happens. I love this movie. It's that rare kind of movie that can say more with silence than many can with a full-blown 3-minute monologue. Sophia really directs this movie with a quiet confidence. She's not interested in spoon-feeding the audience or forcing meaning into every frame. The mood really does the talking, and the mood is isolation, yearning. So we have the fabulously talented Bill Murray playing Bob, a washed up movie star who is in Tokyo doing a whiskey commercial to make a bit of money, and Scarlett Johansson, she's only 17 in this movie, which is so mind-blowing. Like, and she's like probably one of the most beautiful human beings to look at on the big screen. Like I remember seeing her in Girl with a Pearl Earring, and just, I've never really fancied her in the way I fancy like Natalie Portman or Jennifer Lawrence, but like she's like a piece of art. And yeah, she's this young woman in a marriage that clearly is not working. Both Bob and Charlotte are kind of just drifting along in their lives, physically, like in this new city, and also emotionally. And so when they meet in the movie, there's a chemistry, but it's not like a typical romance movie, love story, blah blah. It's that kind of soul level stuff, that kind of like click. You rarely get it in life. You get it every now and again. And I'm sure this movie frustrated a lot of you if you watched it with me, like when I mentioned it on Instagram, because of the ambiguity. But I think like the ambiguity is the point. Like there is romantic tension, but the film never really goes there. You're kind of left thinking, is it romantic? Is it friendship? Is it just a very, very deep connection? And I think it's such a brave movie in asking us to sit in that uncertainty without the dramatic declaration of like, oh, I'm gonna leave my wife for you. Like, there's no tidy ending. It's just about two people who find each other at the perfect wrong time, you know? To me, it was very much a movie about people who are seeking connection in a world that is increasingly more disconnected than ever. It's not plot heavy, but I just found myself really leaning into the stillness of it, and it was such a nice break from watching things where it's all like about technology. And I do think there's a challenge in modern storytelling. If you're telling a story based after, you know, the onset of social media, that is inevitably gonna somehow inform the story or have to be incorporated in or whatever. I just find myself wanting to go back and watch movies that were based when, like, they're faxing each other. His wife is faxing him and like posting him carpet samples because she can't like text him a photo of the carpet samples. You know what I mean? I just love that. I love older movies, and I love that it's shot on film. I love how it's filmed and how the city, Tokyo, just kind of hums along in the background, and it's mirroring the inner emotional landscape of the characters. It's visually poetic, it's emotionally honest. To me, it was such a real depiction of connection, that kind of just like unspoken connection you can have with another person, and age and like none of that stuff matters or comes into it. I loved it. I loved the soundtrack. I loved the performances, the cinematography. It was delicious. Our good friend Simon, who we've both known since we were quite young, texted saying it's his favourite movie, and yeah, like it's up there for me, and I'm sure some of you thought it was shit. Was this vlog over an hour? Probably. Are you still here? If you're still here, I want to see purple love hearts in the comments. Let's go purple today. And yeah, I'll see you in another video very, very soon. I'm thinking next month's monthly vlog, I might focus it in and around meals and workouts and like healthy habits, sleep hygiene, that kind of thing. If you have any specific questions in that regard, please leave them below, and I'll see you. I'm gonna go swap with Thomas because he has to go collect our son from jiu-jitsu, and I have to mind the 2-year-old, and mwah, mwah, mwah.